So guys, in this video I'll be introducing you to a very simple trading strategy that can actually make you a lot of money if you follow every single instruction carefully. And this particular strategy is not just one new random strategy, but it's a strategy that we've been trading every single day for the past 2 weeks, live on TikTok every single day, and has secured a very reasonable amount of win rates. And not to talk too much, take a quick look on my Light Finance dashboard right now. You can see this same strategy, we've been trading with it. As you can see from here, I had GBP USD. We used this strategy where I made $1,180 and then we lost 795 on GU, lost another 770 on AU. After that, you can see on gold here 1,150, 512, 3,864 and then 266. All of these profits were made with a simple strategy that I'm going to share with you in this video. And this strategy works really well on a 15-minute time frame, which means that you don't have to wait for too long. You just have to wait for the New York session to open, and then you take advantage of the section. So guys, before we go down to sharing this strategy and every single thing you need to know, I just want to let you know that this video is officially sponsored by Light Finance, which is one of the most reliable prop brokers out there that I personally trade with, and the information I showed you right now was directly from this brokerage company. So in case you want to use this broker, you can use the link that will be available in this video description and also tagged in the pinned comment. So they have some of the best trading instruments, some of the best trading environments, and also have a very low spread that you can actually use, and no excess overnight charges as well. So guys, with this said, here's my favorite broker. The link will be down in the video description. Now let's get down to business. Now, in order to trade this strategy, you need to use the 15-minute time frame. Yes, I repeat, you need a 15-minute time frame to actually trade this strategy. And once you set to the 15-minute time frame, you need to wait for the New York session to open. And the New York session actually open by 1 p.m. London time. So once it's 1 p.m. London time, which is the same as Ghanaian time, 1 p.m., then you have to wait for an additional 15 minutes, which means that by 1:15 London time, then you can actually try this strategy. And here is how it is. Now let me take a typical example of a trade from GBP USD last week. Now let me go over to 1 p.m. So here's 1 p.m. opening candle, and then here's the one. Let me look for the 1:15 candle. So here's the 1:15 candle actually. Now once you see the market print the first 1:15 candle, which is the first 15 minutes of the London session. So I don't know for your country, so basically you have to wait for the first 15 minutes of your the London session, depending on your country time. So once the 15-minute candle is printed, you head over to, so let me just go back. Once the New York session open and then the 15-minute candle get printed, you mark the high and then you mark the low as well. So now once you have the highs and low of the market, now the next thing you're waiting for is simple. All you need to take this trade is basically you need to wait for the market to actually close bullish at the top or bearish below. So for example, let's take a look at something quick here. So you see here is a the first 15-minute candle of the New York session. Now the New York session open, printed this 15-minute candle, we mark the high, we mark the low. Now if this market close bearish, you quickly take a sell, and in this situation it close bullish, which means that we are going in for a buy. Now once it gives you this bullish close like this, the next thing you do is basically you come in and then take a quick buy. Now once the candle closes, you take your buy from here. Now you have two options of your stop loss position. If the market printed this sort of level, whereby you can see in this situation, you can see that the market actually printed a bearish candle in between here, creating more like a demand level before it actually bounces off. Now if the market gives you this sort of structure, you can actually keep your stop loss right below it here. And after that, you aim for a 1:2. Now with this strategy, I advise you aim for a 1:2 minimum. So if the setup will not give you a 1:2, there is no need actually taking it. But if you can give you a 1:2, then you go for it. Now you see, this is basically how the strategy works. You wait for the 15 minutes candle, which means that by 1:30 maximum, which is 30 minutes after the New York session open, you need to be inside the trade. So once the candle closes like this, you take your buy from there with your stop loss right behind here. Now in some situations, the market might not create this sort of level in between here. So what you do is simply you keep your stop loss outside the level like this. Then you keep your stop loss outside like this. Now when I keep my stop loss like this, if I can get a 1:2, I don't actually take the trade. So if the setup cannot give you a 1:2 minimum, then there is no need for you to actually take their position. Now let me give you a typical example using a different market, different from this USD JPY. Now let's also identify that candle on the let's also identify that candle right here. So that should be 113.15. You can see here is it here. Here's the candle right here. Let's mark the high and low. Here is the high. Here is the low. And you take your entry as usual right at the close here. Now for this one is very far away, so your stop loss don't need to be too huge. Then aim for a 1:2 as well. So let me just adjust it. You see, you're also going to have this. So when the market closes far away from it like this, most times I personally don't take the trade. But if I must take the trade, that basically means that I need to reduce my stop loss position. That's what I usually do. So once it closes far away like this, if I want to take it, my stop loss will be right behind this particular candle here. So in case of any reversal, because if this sort of momentum market can reverse against it, then I know that what the position doesn't worth it. You basically aim for it like this, looking at this last candle here. Now let's take a look at a different market again. Here is my setup that got broken. Let me just clear it off, and then let's look for the same candle again to show you that this system actually works regardless of the market. Now 115. Here was the candle. Let's mark it out. Okay, here is the low. Here is the high, and then this one closed bearish. You take your sell like this, your stop loss right behind this previous week before the market closed bearish, and then you aim for a 1:2 as usual. So if you had done that on this market, you wouldn't have gotten your 1:2 because you can see the market quickly came and then rejected off before hitting your stop loss. But for a market to come this close to a 1:2 for you and they start showing this sign of rejection, everybody knows that you go break even. And if you follow my TikTok live, you'll be able to learn how to manage this trade perfectly well. Now this video, I'm just breaking down this strategy to you in a faster way. Now let's also look at it on gold as well. So 12, 13, okay, 12:30, 12:45, 13. Okay, you can see this one here, we were live that day. I told them not to take it that day on TikTok because the candle was too big. We are not going to get a reasonable entry. So you see the market was just fluctuating and the candle was too big for us to take entries here, keep stop loss behind here. So I just told everyone to forget about it. Okay, this was on AUD USD. Now let's take a look at that of gold. Where is gold? Because I believe here was gold. Okay, here was, yes, I remember I told them to do the same thing on gold. You can see how the strategy works in regardless of the market. I even trade BTC with it as well. So both crypto, forex, and stocks, every single thing, this strategy actually works. Now you can see this one also, I told them not to take it because if you take the entry here, our stop loss is going to be way behind here, which was too far for us to actually take the trade, and there was no pattern in the box. So this one also, we had to let it go. Now let me show you on BTC as well. So on BTC, you can see here was my normal setup that I had. Market tap it and came up this high at a 1:2.5 and 6. But currently the aim is to get this 4-hour support level at that top here. I say 4-hour support. It should be a resistance. Okay, it was a support here. Support swept to resistance. Okay. Now let's also identify the candle right here as well. Now this strategy that I use, I only traded during the New York session, and apart from that, I have my usual strategy that I used to trade on higher time frame as well to actually get longer term positions. Now you can see here is the candle right here as well. Let me mark it. Here is the low. Here is the high. And then a bearish close right here. Stop loss very decent. It's a very tight one. 1:2 will surely be gotten right here. So you see, this strategy is very simple. Once the New York session opens, you identify the first 15-minute candle. You mark the highs and lows. If the market breaks and close below it close at the low, then you basically you take a sell immediately. If you close at the high, you take a buy. Now you need to make sure that the market doesn't close too far away, because if the market closes really far away from the level, it will be difficult for you to actually take a trade with it. Now this is not the first video I'm making for this strategy. I made a video some time ago and someone dropped this comment that he or she actually tested the strategy and it really worked out for them. So guys, this is a very reliable strategy that you can trade every single day during the New York session. Now people also trade during the London session, but I prefer the New York session because there's more volatility in the market during the New York session. So guys, this is all about this trade. Don't forget to use Light Finance as your main broker. The link will be down in this video description. And if you are looking for a Propfirm to trade with as well, make sure you trade with Blueberry Funded. I also use them. The link will be down in this video description and also in the pinned comment as well. So guys, see you in my next video. Bye.